Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video, we're going to be taking Human Torch up to rank 5 and getting fully on board the hype train. Now, Human Torch is just an absolute beast mode champion in kind of 3 different scenarios. And the first one is when there's a lot of regeneration to reverse. The second one is really against any Mystic champion because he gains Smolder and Heat so much easier. And the third one is really like any source of energy damage, so you can build up Smolder as well. So these are very odd matchups like Green Goblin and Cable and a few others that we're going to showcase today, but in the right matchup, Human Torch is just one of the best options for so many different fights. And I feel like with the Abyss of Legends coming very soon, I needed to take this champion up to rank 5 because there are so many big scenarios where there seems to be a huge amount of regeneration or just like a really stacked up version of a super annoying Mystic champion. I'm fairly confident that a lot of people are going to be building Human Torch into their setups, and also he's going to be one of the best counters for so many really annoying fights in there. But again, it's all speculation at the moment as it hasn't been released yet, but this man's ability to ramp up his damage and just absolutely nail Mystic champions is just crazy. This is without the suicide masteries or a big build up. I've literally just gone in and started nuking, and Juggernaut is almost down in like 60 hits there. So the damage is just so impressive at rank 5, and that's just over 500,000 hit points. And you can see with anything like that special in this matchup, just going for gold, we got him down in just over a minute and 10 seconds, which is absolutely absurd damage output for 500,000 hit points. The total counter on the hits was 72 as well, and the more and more Smolder you build up, the more Incinerate damage you deal as well. So in those bigger scenarios, there's just so much more potential to deal even more damage there. So this has got me, you know, very excited for the Abyss of Legends, man. I just want to take him against like that 3 million Mephisto, Dormammu, Mordo. I'm just so excited for so many of the fights because I really feel like he's a champion that's going to have a lot of solid value in the future for all sorts of Mystic and energy based matchups, and just really get this opportunity to shine and surpass even some of the craziest characters in this game. So I've got very high hopes when it comes to Human Torch, but we got so many fun matchups today with and without the pre-fight ability, and this War Machine is with the pre-fight ability, but just smoke this man down in just under 40 hits there. A very smooth, very efficient matchup. But War Machine, because he's not a Mystic champion, there's no regeneration, there's no energy damage, he isn't really that great of a matchup for Human Torch, but that's what I love about the pre-fight ability sometimes, is you can just use it in scenarios where you know Human Torch doesn't have like any other advantage in that matchup, just to make it quick and easy. Now, next up, we have no pre-fight ability versus Ebony Moore here. You can see we're very quickly building the stacks of Smolder, like every single blocked hit or parry from a Mystic champion gives you 1 stack of Smolder and also 5 temperature as well. But one of the amazing things about this matchup is as long as Human Torch is above 10 temperature, his attacks cannot miss. So Falter doesn't work on Ebony Moore, and it means you can just ignore this mechanic and nuke through it. And this is just so useful for so many champions that have come out in the last like 6 to 12 months. You've got champions like Mysterio, Invisible Woman. Also everywhere we seem to be seeing those super annoying invisibility nodes where if you perform like the same hit in a row, then your next attack is guaranteed to miss, and Human Torch can bypass those nodes as well. So that PC utility that didn't seem like that useful when it was released is just getting more and more value every couple of months in the game, and it's just very nice to see. So we're currently dominating Scarlet Witch, and this matchup is going really well. If you're playing very aggressively with Human Torch, you know, you trigger the Nova Flame, and that just allows you to get power stings on your opponent for even more damage there. So yeah, just tearing apart this last no pre-fight ability here because we've saved it for the next matchup. Now, one of the massive strengths about Human Torch is his ability to get through Incinerate immune champions as well. So if you run into somebody like Iceman or Emma Frost or any champion that has a natural immunity to Incinerate, you can activate the pre-fight ability and apply Nova Flames, which are passive and not actually Incinerates, so their immunity doesn't count, and it just allows you to get through like so many champions that you wouldn't be able to get through on other characters. This, you know, isn't the absolute best Emma Frost counter out there, but hey, it works. It is an effective solution here. So we're firing up the heavy attack here, get to max temperature 20, and you can see just absolutely nuking her down. We've already done so much work in just 30 hits already, so she's very much on the ropes, just trying to bait out special one here. here, go back in. Our temperature's still retained fairly high as well. A couple of cheeky intercepts there into another combo, into a special one. I was going for the execution there, but hey, she beat me to it with a power sting, self-reflection damage at the end. So fantastic little matchup against Emma Frost there. Another champion that's a really good matchup for Human Torch is the Green Goblin matchup. This is because the special one has so many hits of energy damage on, so it just allows you to stack up your temperature and smolder very, very quickly here. Also, a massive advantage is Green Goblin usually like regenerates a fair bit as well. However, you can cancel and also invert a little bit of that regeneration, which is very, very nice. So a 3 combo here, straight into a special 2. We go for a stun, quick charge to get max temperature there, and we smash out another 3 combo, straight into blocking a special 2. I meant to go for the dodge on that, but it doesn't matter too much. But you can see already, man, we're at 9 stacks of smolder from all his special attacks. Also, if you get the opponent in the corner, you can spam heavy to chain it on, which is a very nice little interaction there. Blocking the special 1, you can see our smolder temperature goes up to 14 there. So yeah, just allows you to get some awesome damage on the retaliation, and that almost 3,000 health Green Goblin in Act 6 Chapter 3 just gets shredded in 45 hits with the pre-fight ability. So yeah, worked out quite well there. Now, next up, we got Juggernaut Spider-Man, and one thing I learned today is if you go for the heavy quick enough, it actually fires off and lands before the stun ends, but you just need to immediately parry into a heavy attack, and you can see 2 hits before the stun expires. So that's a very safe way to fire off the heavy attack and slowly build up temperature in a matchup like this and imply incinerates, but I decided to be a little bit more risky in some scenarios. You can also like heavy attack first hit and then chain on with the special 2, which is a pretty good tactic to use. Starting on Spider-Man, we can block bits of the special 2 to build up smolder as well and get more damage on the retaliation there. Cheeky little heavy attack there, and then we're going to go for a parry, double medium straight into special 2, get that stun and assassin's range, and finish this man off. So without the pre-fight ability, shredded a very stacked Starknot Spider-Man in just under 50 hits there. So he doesn't need the ideal matchup to still be like a pretty good, a pretty viable champion. There's certainly a very few matchups where Human Torch feels like a really bad option to go for, with or without the pre-fight ability, depending on the context of the matchup. But again, you can use that pre-fight ability to make what would usually be a bad matchup a good matchup. The only con with the pre-fight ability is that if you do use it and then die on that fight, then it's not going to immediately re-trigger again or be restored to you. So it does require, you know, an element of skill and gameplay, and sometimes that can leave you a little bit upset if you do mess up a good try with the pre-fight ability. Now, this Hyperion matchup, I didn't want to use the special 2 just because the stun is so long and Hyperion's power gain is, you know, a little bit crazy. So we get to see the special 3 in this matchup, which is always very satisfying to fire off. And it's not bad to use because it builds up like a couple of smolder as well and activates Nova Flame. So there's a decent bit of damage output overall. It's just the special 2 is just so satisfying. And in the majority of matchups, you can get off like, you know, a good 6 incinerates off it, man. So I've very often found that in the majority of matchups, the special 2 is the best way to go, but if you're in a matchup where you can't generate stacks of smolder off Mystic champions or energy champions, then it might be a good idea to throw a special 3. But also, I will say this, man, I'm certainly not the best Human Torch player in the world. You know, there are probably people that have been playing this champion like crazy, like Legacy, that might know a few more tips and tricks that I've missed out of today's video. But if you are a Human Torch diehard fan, let me know in the comments section below, and let me know anything I might be missing about Human Torch. But a little bit sketchy on that Hyperion matchup there, but in the end he goes down. Now the next fight is one of my favorites, so we got the pre-fight ability here. This is a stacked up version of Dormammu in the final quest of Act 6 Chapter 2, and it just really shows the power of this man to tear through these mystic giants that are knocking him out all over the place. So here we dodge the special 1, we go in for a 3 combo, and a blocked hit just to trigger a parry, so we can go into another 3 combo, straight into a special 2 there. The special 2 is just so satisfying to fire off as well, I find. And then another couple of 3 combos, and then he fires off a special 1 here. Unfortunately, I get the degeneration from the Fury expiring from the special 2, but that's only if you have like their thing synergy, I believe. But overall, man, that Dormammu just got friggin' melted there, boys. Such a great, such an efficient matchup there. This man really does live up to his title of one of the best Mystic Slayers, if not the best Mystic Slayer in the entire game. But it depends on, you know, the matchup matchup and scenario and what else might be at play, but for a lot of big Mystic champions, the damage output and ramp up is just so impressive. Here we're taking on OG Vision, so we got to be a little bit careful with his awakened ability just to make sure he doesn't get that special 3 and 1-shot us. So here we bait out special 2 straight into a 3 combo retaliation, special 2 to chain on, because his awakened ability is just procced. It gives us time to kind of nuke in, get him to a special 2, and bait that out before we're going to see it again. So he fires off the special 2, which is really nice. We go for a couple of like medium light backdrafts here, and if the opponent is really aggressive, these are really good to do, just because every single hit, like the first medium, first light, is always going to imply incinerate, so it just gives you a lot of incinerates there, which is really nice. But yeah, this Vision is just dying, mate. A really good matchup. We managed to get quite lucky with a lot of the intercepts there as well, so straight into a parry, another 5 combo, and this man is down. I also find in the majority of matchups where we can stun the opponent and kind of incorporate those heavy attacks into the fight, that I don't really have much use for the special 1 outside of like throwing it to like end a fight. So yeah, it's really special 2 all the way, at least I've found in my experience so far. But let me know your thoughts on the rotation and best specials to use in the comment section below. Then second to last in today's video, we have a Cable matchup toward the end of Act 6 Chapter 2, and this is just an amazing matchup for Human Torch. Cable special 1 has so much energy damage on it and a load of hits as well, so it just allows you to stack up Smolder very quickly and just absolutely rinse him on the damage there. And also, if he does pop regeneration as well, you have the ability to not only mitigate it but also reverse it. So I kind of wish there was a super stacked version of Cable in the Abyss of Legends. I think Human Torch would be an amazing counter there. But you can see a very short fight, man, and we've got 17 stacks of Smolder, so there is so much damage output. Another heavy attack takes this man down, but again, another really good matchup for Human Torch. Now finally, we have the Heimdall matchup, and this one's kind of a good matchup for Human Torch, mainly due to this champion's heavy animation, because it pretty much counters Heimdall's special 1 almost perfectly. That just allows you to remove the True Strike, which also removes the potential to auto block and parry you. So yeah, very oddly, he works out, if you get the distance and timing right, as like a really decent counter to Heimdall here. So we're not trying to give him like too much power. We charge up the heavy there, straight into a counter to remove True Strike off the special 1, which is very nice as well. And then to a special 2, so a few hits there, and then we're going to charge up the heavy attack as well. Go Nova Flame. Here we're just trying to bait out a special 1. We successfully do it. A quick clip on the old heavy attack interrupts this man, which is absolutely fantastic. And you can see if you get the distance right, man, you can just come out of that special 1 that he throws every single time, ready to interrupt this man and remove that True Strike with a heavy attack. So yeah, just a cool little tip, you know, in terms of distance and timing there. But his heavy attack is quite valuable as well, just because it's very quick and lunges forward. So I do like the animation on it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's Human Torch rank up and gameplay video to rank 5. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you did, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.